Family, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. This is Wake Up Bama for Monday, February 9th. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. As we enter in this day, let us hold gratitude, right? Let us be grateful to be here. And I appreciate you guys being here. And as always, the goal is 500 thumbs up. And if you were watching last night's Super Bowl, I cut this during halftime. And it was really easy because when I was entering kind of Sunday night, I was like, what could I do for Monday, right? Following the Super Bowl, what would come to me? And it became real apparent as Seattle was leading the Patriots 9-0 at halftime, the formula to winning a championship at any sort of level, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into 4 parts, okay? And kind of on the back end, I have some people that are watching live. I might ask some questions about kind of what else that we can kind of layer on, okay? So with that said, let's kind of jump right into it. And I think the biggest thing, fam, is the commitment to the run. And look, I get it. You had Ryan Grubb last year at Seattle. Mike Macdonald make changes because he felt that Seattle needed to get back to pounding the football, right? And they have done that this year. Whether or not you're a Grubb fan, I know a lot of people are like, well, he didn't have Sam Darnold. Well, you know, and his running backs were banged up. We could go back and forth. But the point is, if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, back me up inside the comment box, even if you're watching on the rewatch. What are they known for? They are known for running the ball and being a physical team on the offensive side of the ball. That's what Mike Macdonald wanted to do. In this Super Bowl, at the halftime break, okay? Halftime, I'm cutting this. I don't even know what he's going to finish out with. Kenneth Walker, the third, a big, imposing back, has run the ball 14 times for 94 yards. And they've had explosives, right? A gain of 30, a gain of 29. How many explosive plays did Alabama's running back room have last year? I can just think of 2. I'm probably wrong on that, but I can just think of 2. But I know that Alabama didn't commit to running the ball last year. And Ryan Grubb said, look, I understand that physicality needs to be paramount. So what Coach DeBoer and Coach Grubb did was they got together and they're like, okay, what do we need to do to take a step forward with the running game? And what they did was they were like, we need to fire the offensive line coach and kind of retool from the offensive line standpoint. If you've had an opportunity to listen to Adrian Clem, I would say he's got that mentality that we're looking for. Now, everybody's good in the preseason. Everybody's good in spring. But how does that translate to playing physical football in the trenches come Saturday? Now, I'm talking about the first Saturday of the season, okay? Because if you can't commit to running the football, I'm telling you, the seat is going to get really warm for even Coach Kalen DeBoer, okay? Because DeBoer and Grubb are connected. And if Grubb doesn't show a big emphasis to running the football and playing physical football in the SEC, they're not going to last because they're not going to win games. And Seattle right here has shown you that one of the core principles, okay, is running the football. Let me ask you this. What did Miami and Indiana, and I often bring this up, what commonality did they share on offense? Running the football. Miami had 1 big running back. Indiana had 2. Right? Alabama has a running back committee, and they can get the job done. They just have to commit to running the ball. And if you get 2 yards, go back to it, right? Let your running backs be able to find the holes. Now, Kenneth Walker, he's elite, but we got to have guys that can see the hole as well. And we have to have offensive line that can not only protect the quarterback, but that can also, provide running lanes for our backs, okay? So that is kind of the core principle number 1. Am I right? Do you guys think I'm right? Hey, by the way, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for kicking it with me on Wake Up Bama. All right, live every single day, posted every single day at 4 a.m. Okay, and I appreciate you guys being here. The goal is always 500 thumbs up, and I appreciate that. It helps the video. I don't know why, okay? This is just something that helps. And being active inside the comment box. And one of the things that I've noticed about Wake Up Bama is that you guys get here, and then you guys are always saying good morning to each other. And I appreciate that. And one of the things that continues to keep me going with Wake Up Bama, and I'm not going to lie, performing in February, talking about, different topics and stuff, it's been a challenge even for me. But what I kind of fall back on is I know there's a lot of people that appreciate the podcast because it's a good start to the day, right? And sometimes when I get off in like live coaching and stuff like that, I hear from people, right? We got people that are battling real life stuff. And I was very open to you that I'm personally going through some stuff that's a little heavy on my heart right now. But that's okay, because we fight through adversity. You accept the adversity for what it is, okay? And you continue on your routine and you continue to move forward. Now, everything's not going to be perfect automatically, but if you stay in your routine and you continue to push forward, then, you know, and the worst thing to do is you can't self-isolate. That's the worst thing, and play the poor me's, okay? Because life, guess what? It doesn't care. The sun's going to come up tomorrow regardless of your attitude, right? So my point is, stay in your routine, keep going. This too shall pass, right? And keep going. So look, if you're out there and you're battling, like I always say, my prayers are with you, and let's keep up the momentum, right? One day at a time. We can't think about Tuesday if we haven't even gone through Monday. Am I right? Okay. Now, on this podcast, it's basically designed the fundamentals, the core fundamentals of winning a championship. And we're watching Seattle right now. We're cutting this live at halftime as they lead 9-0. But it became apparent to me, and I was like, look, these are the principles, and this is the roadmap to winning a Super Bowl, a college football championship, a high school championship, okay? So we started out with commitment to running the ball. Okay? My second piece is having a pass rush that is not only good, but that is elite, okay? What Seattle has done tonight, and again, just in the first half, but I could tell you, they've committed to making Drake May very uncomfortable, okay? And they've done that by coming with exotic blitzes. I'm talking corner blitzes. They're getting to Drake May. They've sacked him 3 times in this game, okay? They had a corner blitz, and I think the defensive line got to him one time. I think it was even Reed one time with the sack. So Drake May in this game, get this. Drake May, baller, had an amazing season. He is 6 of 11 right now for only 48 yards, okay? He has 2 fantasy points. So what they've done is they've done a great job committing to making him uncomfortable. Same thing that I saw with the Miami Hurricanes. They were trying to make Fernando Mendoza uncomfortable. Indiana had a pretty good pass rush as well, but that Miami pass rush made me think about where Alabama's pass rush is. And let me ask you something inside the comment box as you're watching this and you're listening to it. How would you grade last year Alabama's pass rush on a scale of 1 to 10? To me, I kind of felt it was a little bit mid. I did. I didn't think that it was, I thought they could have sent more pressure. I felt that there was times where there was only 3 guys going after the quarterback. I felt at times where we weren't sending enough exotic blitzes. Even New England has sent some blitzes in this first half that have been impressive to me. So that's another core principle. And then you kind of layer it. Well, does Alabama have guys to get after the quarterback? We got Yanzi Pierre. Last year he had 6.5 sacks. That should be doubled. Yanzi Pierre, there's no way that Yanzi Pierre should not have 10 to 12 sacks this coming year. If he doesn't, we failed. Justin Hill, he can be utilized in that area as well. And plus, who's the bandit going to be? And can the bandit, whether that's Zulu or Devin Tompkins or however it sets up, we need those guys to fight to get to the quarterback as well. We need some athletic bandit guys to be able to cause havoc. And we need the interior defensive line to get a push, right? Whether that's Terrence Green, Jeremiah Beeman, Edric Hill, Isaiah Faga, I don't care. Get after the quarterback and make them uncomfortable. But you know what? Along with the pass rush, they've done really good against the run too. I mean, New England, they've been bottled up. Stevenson at the halftime break, 7 carries for just 23 yards. Okay, so my 2 core principles, and next I'm going to talk to you about my favorite commercials that I've seen so far, right? Commitment to running the ball and elite pass rush, okay? Now, for my halftime on this podcast, I'm going to tell you about my favorite commercials, okay? So my favorite commercial, checking in at number 1, was when I saw the Toilets start singing, okay? And they were singing a Phil Collins song, and it turned out it was for Liquid IV. So that was my number 1. And a close number two, because I almost put this number 1, was Goodwill Dunkin' Donuts, right? And you had, I saw George Costanza. I saw Jennifer Aniston, right? George Lucas. I saw Ben Affleck. Name your person, right? Urkel was in there, right? And it was Dunkin' Donuts. And at the end, Jennifer Aniston comes up and she posts on the screen. She's like, hey, do you like donuts? And he's like, yeah, I like donuts. And she's like, how about these nuts? And it was Tom Brady was her boyfriend, right? So that was my second favorite commercial. Other commercials that I liked, Coinbase, rock your body, yeah, yeah. And then I saw a Universal Studios commercial, and it got me kind of sentimental because I took my kids there recently, and you know how it is. Kids are growing, right? I mean, I got a 17 and a 13-year-old. Like, they're hanging out with their friends right now. Pretty soon, I'm just going to be by myself, right? And it's like, man, like, those are some good times, you know, getting on all those. I'm not a roller coaster guy, but I got on all the roller coasters because, like, my kids were there, right? All right. The other two commercials that I liked were the movies that were coming up, right? And we got Disclosure. Disclosure is like right up my alley. And if you're just joining us, I'm doing my podcast for tomorrow, right, during the halftime break. But for me, like, a movie like Disclosure is right where, like, you want me to watch a movie with you? It's gonna have to be a movie like that. Something that's kind of like sci-fi, dystopia type deal, world ending, right? This one looks like it's kind of the afterlife, aliens kind of mixed in together. It sounds interesting. And then the other one I saw was movie Project Hail Mary. Again, that looks like, I don't know, space, right? I like those type of movies. Like, for example, I like Independence Day. I like Armageddon. Those are the type of movies I like. And I don't know. I don't watch a lot of shows. And I watch kind of the same thing, like proven things. So if you like hang out with me, it's going to be really hard for you to get me to watch like one of your shows, right? You want to watch, like, I've never seen Ted Lasso. So people are like, yo, you need to watch Ted. It's hard for me. I only watch like really proven things that I've seen. Like, I'm going to watch like The Sopranos again. You know what I'm saying? So I know one of my flaws, but that's at least I'm aware. Okay, so we got commitment to the run, and we got elite pass rush, okay? We got two more to go, okay? And these are the core principles to be able to win a national championship, okay? Okay, so checking in at number 3 is, sometimes when we talk offense, right? Talk defense, right? Can't forget about special teams. Okay, so how does that translate in this particular game for the Super Bowl? Well, through 2 quarters of play, Seattle's field goal kicker, okay, is 3 of 3. Those are the only points on the board. Okay, they're leading 9-0. That's more than a touchdown, okay? He didn't miss from 20 yards. He didn't miss from 25, right? He hit some field goals that were certainly noteworthy. And that has given the Seattle Seahawks, right, a 2-score lead. So special teams is critical. And in this game, they also had a punt where Seattle punted the ball. It went out on the 3-yard line. It pinned the Patriots back. They couldn't do anything. So offense, defense, special teams. And where is Alabama on special teams? Where's the tie-in? Well, how would you assess Alabama's special teams last year? I would say maybe above mid. Maybe, right? I mean, Connor Talty, he struggled and then got good, right? Struggled and then got good. You can't have that. There's no struggle on special teams. Special teams should be the one area where you were tightened up the entire season. Okay? 25 yards, 45 yards. It doesn't matter. Special teams offense is going to take some time for Alabama. It really is. The first 5 games, thankfully, is an opportunity for Alabama to kind of get their feet wet. On the defensive side, defense should be absolutely loaded. Special teams should be loaded from the jump and should be really, really good, okay? So, Connor Talty, okay, he had his struggles. But Lorcan Quinn, who's coming in as the kicker, should be outstanding. And he has a range that is much longer than Talty. Right? I'm talking 50-yard field goals. So that adds Alabama up, right? And you can't have any blunders there, right? Special teams blunders will kill you, right? You can't take points off the board. You can only add points to the board. You know what I'm saying? The punter last year, Blake Dowd, I felt he was inconsistent. He fit perfectly with the team. He was inconsistent. The new punter coming in, he can be inconsistent. And it looks like he does have some good experience coming over from North Alabama, right? and we'll see how he does. You got a new long snapper as well. And then this is the other area. And there hasn't been a big special teams play in this game, in my opinion, for like a return perspective. But let me ask you this. As I'm talking about special teams being another core principle to how you win a championship, when was the last time that we had a punt returner that absolutely instilled fear into the opposition? Like when? When was there a time when the team like punted it out of bounds? Look, if I have Cole Adams, I'm punting to him every single time, okay? Because I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid. Like, he's going to fair catch it, and it is what it is. But I'm not afraid of him. I want somebody back there. We got to have – this is Alabama. We got to have someone back there that is just like, man, we can't punt to this dude. He's going to change the momentum of the game. We can't. Who is that for Alabama? Is it Lazier Brooks? Is it Noah Rogers? Is it Ryan Williams? I know you're like, no, maybe it is. What if Ryan Williams becomes the most dangerous punt returner in the country? You telling me that he doesn't have elite speed, elite vision, playmaking ability? All he needs to do is catch the ball. Something to think about. But right now in this game, Seattle's winning because they committed to running the ball. They've got after the quarterback, and they've had elite special teams. Am I wrong? It's 9-0. Things can change, but that's why they're winning, okay? Now, as we look to kind of other elements, what would you say? What would you say inside the comment box? Now I'm asking you, inside the comment box, what are other elements that help win a national championship? And if you're just joining us, I am cutting Wake Up Bama live for the halftime break so I can have it published for tomorrow so I can go to sleep for my workout. I'm always like trying to work smarter. So I figured I have some time. So what other elements? I talked about running the ball. I talked about pass rush. I talked about special teams. What other elements are the core principle to winning a Super Bowl, to winning a championship in college, right? To winning in high school? What would you say? I was thinking about, maybe some other elements that have landed in this particular game. And I would say turnovers, right? You can't turn over the football, plain and simple. We know how turnovers have impacted this team this last season. You got to always be on the positive on turnovers. You got to create turnovers. The defensive secondary has to be super active and create a lot of interceptions. I think they should play really aggressive. I look for a big year for Zabian again. Bray Hubbard coming back. Like, these guys should be forcing turnovers 1,000,000%. Okay, and you can't fumble, right? You can't throw interceptions, right? You got to avoid bad decisions. And if you're just joining us, you're like, what's going on? I'm giving you my Wake Up Bama, and I've developed 4 core principles, right, to winning a championship. And the first one is commitment to running the football. The second one is elite pass rush, and the third one is special teams. And then the fourth is kind of some miscellaneous categories. And just as North Alabama Storm Chase is saying, of course, it's the time of possession. I have that listed. Having time of possession, it is demoralizing to the opposition. You control the ball, you control the game. Period. That's it. And look, I'm not saying it has to be a 17-play drive, but I'm talking about there's times in the game, in every single game, where you need to have a long, sustaining drive. And that kind of tells the opposition, like, who's your daddy? You know what I'm saying? And you can't get them off the field. Defense gets tired. Pounding the ball, right? There's nothing worse than a long, sustaining drive. There's just not. And I think that Alabama at times, actually last year, they had some games where they had impressive time possession, and then kind of for one thing or another, they kind of, they lost that, right? So that's got to be a different element. What other elements would you say? So we got time of possession. We got turnovers. Are there any other elements that are part of it? And I guess one other element that we really haven't spoke about is kind of like mindset, mentality, camaraderie, leadership, right? Those kind of other areas that are more about team than the actual on the field play. What is the mentality of this team? And I challenge you inside the comment box, and you don't have to answer now, but maybe be thinking about it. What is the identity of this team from an offensive perspective? What is the identity of this team from like a psychological perspective? Where is this team? Is this still like kind of the standard that still puts fear in the opposition? Has that shifted? Yes, no. Could that come back? Because I think with the amount of talent that Alabama has on the defensive side, they should be able to step on the field and they should be the aggressor on the defense. Now, the offense is a completely other thing because we don't know who the linemen are going to be. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. We don't know what the running backs are going to look like. And I know I've gotten questions inside the comment box about what is the season going to look like. Well, I think when you look to the first 5 games, it sets up really well for Alabama's offense to kind of find its identity, right? To find out where the leadership is, to find out, about this team, how tough they are, because there are some tough games. I think this is a wonderful addition inside the comment box. I'm looking for other elements that are part of a championship-winning team. And North Alabama Storm Chase, inside the comment box during the live feed when I'm cutting this, has mentioned third down efficiency. Man, you know what? I'm going to read you a stat that's going to blow your mind, okay? So you're like, really? Is third down efficiency that important? Yes, and I'll tell you why. This past season, okay? You know who the number 1 team was? The number 1 team in third down efficiency? You know who it was? Indiana. Indiana converted third downs, get this, a mind-boggling 56% of the time. That is outrageous. Outrageous. 56% of the time. And guess who's number 2? Ohio State. That tells me a lot about your team, right? From a third down conversion percentage. I'm quickly trying to find Alabama's to kind of bring it up. But, man, to see where Indiana is in that stat category, I think tells you a lot. Alabama finished 46th in third down conversions with 41%. Okay? And then it translates as well on the defensive side of the ball, right? The same thing. Opponent's third down. How good are you? Well, guess what? Indiana was 8th. Okay? 30%. So that is definitely another element. 100%. Again, Bama was number 48. 37%, but there's a big difference, right? So those are kind of the elements. Could anyone think of anything else? Any other elements? All right, we'll spotlight a popular topic that people are talking about kind of out there in social media on the back end of the podcast. And Dat Boy inside the comment box brings it up at a perfect time. But before I go into this, would you agree that those are the core principles? And I'll recap them real fast. And again, if you're just joining us during the halftime break, I'm cutting the Wake Up Bama for the halftime before we get back to the action. And I've come up with the principles of winning a Super Bowl, a championship at any level. Commitment to the run game, elite pass, elite special teams, no turnovers, controlling time of possession, and third down efficiency and third down defense. Okay? You win in those areas, and you're winning as many games as it takes. Okay. Now, the last thing on the back end of the podcast is Dat Boy brought up, and I saw this, it took over social media. Xavier Griffin's mother, I guess on a post, said he's already put on 20 pounds. And, if he's close to 220 to 230 to even like 240, and that's one of the biggest things is how quickly he can add weight, because that's the only reason why I don't have him playing sooner than later is because he's a little bit light. Xavier Griffin is a 5-star that came in, and I would imagine that probably working at that wolf position, right? Xavier Griffin. And, man, he's got the physical tools. I want you to do something. Here's some research for you. Go into YouTube and type in Xavier Griffin Florida State workout. And War Chant has some beautiful footage of him, and you could just tell from his athletic ability and his body movement that he's going to be an elite pass rusher. I'm telling you the moves that he has. The only thing is when you see the tape, you're going to be like, oh, man, he's just undersized. But if he's already put on 20 pounds, man, I'm telling you, this is another and we've been talking about other freshmen, right? We've been talking about Sedarian Morgan. We've been talking about Xavier Crowell. Well, what do they have in common? They're physically developed already, right? And the guys who are physically developed, they're going to play as freshmen here, period. Now, if you have Xavier Griffin, who's already, making roads to put on 20 pounds, that's great. Can he put on 25, pounds? Can he put on, I think that one of the guys who put on the most weight that I saw was Keon Keeley. I know he's now transferred, but I think he put on it was crazy. I think he put on 32 pounds, right? When he moved from that wolf to the bandit position. Man, I'm telling you, if Xavier Griffin, because he's got it 1,000,000%, he's just undersized. But if that's kind of the update from his mom, man, that is really, really amazing. 100%. So, so to kind of wrap it up, those are the elements. We hit on a freshman who's added some weight, and we're really excited about him. And then we'll kind of close it out on this. Big Homie says, Kyle, it all comes down to coaching. And isn't that just it? That's the number one thing. And I'm going to leave you with this. And I don't know if this will be popular, but I kind of feel it, right? Mike McDonald, he had to make some changes to his team to get back to the identity that they're known for, and that is physical football. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl. This is the halftime, report, okay? But Mike McDonald made changes, and some difficult changes, right? It's never easy to fire your OC, your offensive line coach, but he did that to get back to the physicality standpoint that Seattle's known for, and they're, a half away from winning the Super Bowl. So my point is, Kalen DeBoer, right? This is a pivotal year for him. And he made changes. He fired Kapilovic. The year before, he fired Hitchler. And he made a step forward from firing Hitchler. And hopefully, he makes a step forward in firing Clem, which will help Alabama establish more of a running game. It's coaching. Now, if you look to Alabama's coaching staff, they have a lot of coaching continuity. From Kane Womack coming back for his third season, right? A lot of guys in that third season. To Ryan Grubb coming back for his second season. And he's got a lot of pressure. So does Adrian Clem, who just came in. He's got pressure 100%, right? So from a standpoint of coaching, yeah, we can talk about all these other elements. And that's how you win. You got to execute, right? And does Alabama have the players? Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. Especially on defense, right? So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for watching Wake Up Bama today. I will catch you live at 10 a.m. right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. As many thumbs up as possible. Thanks for rocking with me. Thanks for rolling with me. And like I always say, if you're battling with something, all right, I'm praying for you. And look, we got to just lock in because the world continues to move whether we're happy or sad. And that's just the nature of it. And that's okay. All right. So live your life. Be grateful for this opportunity as you enter in this Monday. Let it be uplifting. Let it be positive. Let all your dreams come true. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This is Wake Up Bama right here on Bama Football on YouTube.